Hi guys, welcome to TNP. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today we are going to discuss on another question again. We're going to determine the latitude and longitude of different arrival and departure points. Most times you will see questions like being in the southern hemisphere if the ship is sailing northern. Select 1. A. The longitude of the starting point will be greater than the longitude of the ending point. B. The longitude of the starting point will be greater than the longitude of the ending point. C. The latitude of the starting point will be greater than the latitude of the ending point. D. The latitude of the starting point will be smaller than the latitude of the ending point. So the correct answer to this question is the latitude of the starting point will be greater than the latitude of the ending point. How do you know that? Being in the southern hemisphere, if the ship is sailing northern. So the correct answer is the latitude of the starting point will be greater than the latitude of the ending point. It's quite confusing if you don't know what latitude represents, what longitude represents, and where the values, high values of latitude and low values of latitude are in the Mercator chart. So in this video, we are going to know how to answer these questions in a very simple format with just a sketch. You are good to go. Here is an image of the Mercator projection of the world map. It's a grid system and you have the latitude numbering on the right and left hand side and the longitude numbering on the up and down side. So the values are not that clear in this image. Here is another Mercator projection where you have going upward, you can see from the equator you have 0 degree, going up 30 degree north, 60 degree north, then going down you are increasing again to 30 degree and 60 degree south. So going sideward, you have 30 degree east, 60 degree east, 90 degree east, 120 degree east, 150 degree east till 180 degree. Longitudes are from 0 degree to 180 degree, while latitude are from 0 degree to 90 degree. To the west, it's the same thing. So they are all increasing away from the 0 point. So that is what you need to do. With this sketch, you are good to go. You can see the north, the south, the east, the west. Also, like I previously said, latitude start from 0 to 90 degree and longitude start from 0 to 180 degree. So now this is in the northern hemisphere and this is in the southern hemisphere. This is in the western hemisphere. Sorry, this is in the eastern hemisphere and this is in the western hemisphere. So now you can see the direction of the ship. This particular ship is in the north hemisphere and it's going to the southern hemisphere. So you can see you have the numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then to the south 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 90 degree. To the east you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 5 is missing. 6, 7, 8, 9. And to the west you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It increases like that. So what you need to do is know where the ship is and know where it is heading to. Then make your sketch. Very simple. If the question asks you if the ship is in the northern hemisphere and it is heading to the south, what do you need to do? In the northern hemisphere, the latitude is 5. So if you go down now, the value decreases. So you will definitely have a less value at the arrival point. The same thing for the south. If the ship is in the southern hemisphere and you are going to the north, the starting point, you will have a greater latitude than the arrival point, which you will have 1 degree latitude, 1 degree. The same thing for the east and the west. Assuming the ship is in the eastern hemisphere and it is going to the western hemisphere, the departure point will be greater than the arrival point. It's vice versa. If it is in the east and also going to the east, the departure point, the latitude of the departure point will be lesser than the latitude of the arrival point. For the west, the same thing. If it is in the west and is heading to the west, you have 3-degree longitude, which is very small. Going to the western side, the values increases, so you will have 9 degree as you go further to the west. So that is how it is. If you know this diagram and try to sketch it out, put in place what the question says about where the ship is and where it is heading to. Assuming you encounter a question, the ship is in the western hemisphere, okay, then it is going to the eastern hemisphere. So the ship will finally arrive somewhere close to this 0 degree. What you need to do is know which of the longitude is greater and know which of them is lesser. Then you select the right answer from the question. So let's go to one of the questions. Question number 1. In the northern hemisphere, if the ship moves to the north, A said the starting point latitude is smaller than the latitude of the point of arrival. B said starting point latitude is higher than the latitude of arrival. C said starting point longitude is smaller than longitude point of arrival. So in this question, we are dealing with north. So anything concerning longitude is out. So you are left with the 2 latitudes, which are to be correct. And to know the correct answer, with the diagram, in the northern hemisphere, you are going to the north hemisphere. You are in the northern hemisphere, you are going to the north. So you already have a small degree, which is 2 degree, as your latitude. And in the arrival point, you have 5 degree as your latitude. So going back to the question, you will now see the starting point latitude, which is this one, is smaller than the latitude of the point of arrival. 2 is actually smaller than 5. That means A is correct. So B said starting point latitude is higher. Starting point latitude is 2. It's not higher. It is lower. The starting point latitude is higher than the latitude of arrival. That is a false statement. So it means B is not correct. C, starting point longitude is smaller. We already know north does not have anything to do with longitude, so this one is already out. So from the question, our correct answer is A. The starting point latitude is smaller than the latitude of the point of arrival. Quite easy to know the answer with the diagram. So the next question, In the northern hemisphere, you are in the northern hemisphere. If the ship moves south, if the ship moves downward, A, the starting point latitude is smaller than the latitude of the point of arrival. B, starting point latitude is higher than the latitude of arrival. C, starting point longitude is smaller than the longitude of the point of arrival. Again, we are seeing longitude concerning northern hemisphere question. So longitude is for west and east. So C is already out of the question. We are left with A and B. So which of them will be the correct answer? And by doing so, we are going to get the right answer from the diagram. Remember, the question is in the northern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, the ships move to southern hemisphere, to south. It's moving to south, not that it should move to the southern hemisphere. It moves to the south. That means our departure latitude, which is 5, is greater than our arrival latitude, which is 2 degrees. Go back to the question again. The starting point latitude is smaller than the latitude of the point of arrival. Is that true? No. The starting point latitude degree is not smaller than the latitude of arrival point. So that means the answer for this is wrong. B, starting point latitude is higher than the latitude of arrival. Starting point latitude, which is 5 degrees, is higher than the latitude of arrival point, which is correct. So we now know that the correct answer to this question is B. Very simple. In the northern hemisphere, if the ship moves south, starting point latitude is higher than the latitude of arrival point. Another question again. In the southern hemisphere, if the ship moves to the north, A, the starting point latitude is smaller than the latitude of the point of arrival. B, starting point latitude is higher than the latitude of arrival. C, starting point longitude is smaller than the longitude of the point of arrival. We are in the south. Remember, both south and north deals with latitude. So in this question, C is already out because we are seeing longitude here. The two options left are A and B, which has latitude. But which is the correct answer? So to know the correct answer, we go to the diagram. In the south, the ship moves to the north. In the south, you have 5 degrees. It's your latitude. And going to the north, it decreases. So definitely, the latitude in the departure point will be greater than the latitude in the arrival point. Let's go back to the question. The starting point latitude is smaller than the latitude of the arrival point. Is that true? No. Starting point latitude is higher than the latitude of arrival point. So the first answer is wrong. So we are left with only one. Probably this would be the correct answer. The starting point latitude is higher than the latitude of arrival point. So starting point latitude will be higher than the latitude of arrival point. That gives us our correct answer. Very simple with the diagram. You just need to know the diagram and all is said. Question 4. In the southern hemisphere, if the ship moves south, A, latitude to the point of arrival is less than the latitude of the point of departure. B, arrival point latitude is higher than the starting point latitude. C, starting point longitude is greater than that of longitude to the point of arrival. of longitude, this one is already out because we are dealing with south. And south has to, south is latitude. So we go to the diagram again. In the south, we are heading south. So in the south, we have 1 degree latitude. And as we are heading south, the latitudes are increasing until we get to the arrival point where we have 5 degree latitude. So that means the answer to our question will be latitude to the point of arrival is less than the latitude of the point of departure. This is false because arrival point latitude is higher. It is not less. So arrival point latitude is higher than the starting point latitude, which is correct. 5 is higher than 1. So that gives us our correct answer. Arrival point latitude is higher than the starting point latitude. To the next question, question 5. In the Eastern Hemisphere, if the ship moves eastward, A. Latitude to the point of arrival is less than the latitude of the point of departure. B. Starting point longitude is smaller than longitude point of arrival. C. Starting point longitude is greater than that of longitude to the point of arrival. So now we are dealing with the east. So the east is a longitude. So anything that has to do with latitude here will be hard. So the first option, which is A, is already out of the question. We are left with B and C. So how do we know which of them is the correct answer? We use the diagram again. In the east, the ship is heading, in the Eastern Hemisphere, the ship is heading to the east. So now, in the east, you have 3. Then going to the east, the values increases. So the departure point latitude degrees will be lesser than the latitudes of the arrival point. Going back to the question, let's read our options. B. Starting point longitude is smaller than longitude point of arrival, which is correct. Starting point longitude is smaller than arrival point longitude. Then C. Starting point longitude is greater than that of longitude to the point of arrival, which is false. Starting point latitude is not greater than the longitude of arrival point. So our correct answer to this question will be B. Starting point longitude is smaller than longitude point of arrival. Starting point longitude is greater than the longitude of arrival point. B is the correct answer. So this one is a test question for you, my viewer. Try this with a diagram. The question is, in the Eastern Hemisphere, if the ship moves westward, what will be the correct answer? A. Latitude to the point of arrival is less than the latitude of the point of arrival. B. Finish point longitude is lower than the starting point of longitude. C. Finish point longitude is higher than the starting point for longitude. So just try this one with a diagram and know which of them is correct. Comment in this video below in the comment box. I want to see the correct answer for this question. Is for you. It's very simple. Use the diagram and you will get it perfectly. Very, very simple. In the Western Hemisphere, if the ship moves eastward, A. Latitude to the point of arrival is less than the latitude of the point of arrival. B. Starting point longitude is smaller than longitude point of arrival. C. Starting point longitude is greater than that of longitude to the point of arrival. So which of them is the correct answer? A. A is talking about latitude. No. We are in the Western Hemisphere. That is a longitude zone. So anything concerning latitude is out of the question. Now we are left with option B and C. So how do we know which of them is the correct answer? We use our diagram. We use the sketch. The ship is in the Western Hemisphere. It is heading to the east. The latitude here, the longitude here is greater than the longitude here. So as you go to the east, the longitude decreases. So from our question, B said starting point longitude is smaller than longitude point of arrival, which is false. Starting point longitude is actually greater than the longitude of arrival point. So C, starting point longitude is greater than that of longitude to the point of arrival, which is very true. The longitude of starting point is greater than the longitude of arrival point. That makes C to be the correct answer. So for my viewers out there, another question for you. In the Western Hemisphere, if the ship moves westward, what will be the correct answer? A. Latitude to the point of arrival is less than the latitude of the point of arrival. Point of arrival. B. Starting point longitude is smaller than longitude point of arrival. C. Starting point longitude is greater than that of longitude to the point of arrival. So, use the diagram, use the sketch, know where the ships are, know where the starting point is, know where the ending point is, know where it is heading to, know which hemisphere it is, and you will be able to know which of them is the correct answer. It's very simple, but most times when you use your brain, it's quite confusing. Although it's just a simple thing. If you can't use your brain, you just make the sketching and you get your correct answer. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate. Subscribe to my channel TNP. Make sure you share with your friends. Comment in the comment box below. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to type them in the comment box. Like, and see you in the next LICENTA exam prep videos. Thank you very much again. Have a wonderful day.